Witam serdecznie, nazywam się Justyna Wasiak.
Welcome. My name is Justyna Wasiak. Today my guest is medical doctor Michal Polykowski. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Your field of expertise is addiction treatment. I've analyzed literature concerning addictions, yet I was unable to find the definition of addiction. Would you be able to provide us with one, please?
Bardzo dobre pytanie, dziękuję.
This is a very good question, thank you. It's impossible to find a definition of addiction in today's literature, but I think I can help you. This sounds very simple and terrifying at the same time. Addiction is a pathological type of love, because every person who turns to addiction, let's say alcohol, doesn't have to abuse it. They only drink because they like it. They like the feeling that alcohol gives them. This is a special kind of love. As soon as a person likes it, it means alcohol will destroy them in a matter of time, or even kill them. But why is it a pathological type of love? Simply speaking, because it leads to death, and it leaves you with nothing but feelings. Feelings which you will have to pay for by drifting away from reality, stripping away self-esteem and the respect of others, your own happiness and the love of your family and your job. Everything you love is destroyed, and soon it will literally take away your life. Yes, in my opinion, this is pathology. You've been treating addictions for 40 years using an effective self-designed method. I'm talking about standby hypnosis. Please, can you tell us about the difference between standard and standby hypnosis? The only difference is that this method doesn't subordinate human will and their consciousness. The patient is conscious during the therapy, can hear what I'm doing, cooperates with me, and feels safe. Even at the beginning of the therapy, the patient doesn't have to be subordinate to me. I don't need that. All I need, first of all, is the patient's will to give up their addiction and cooperation from their side. That's it. This is the whole difference. So the basic difference is the state of the patient's mind. It's not like they are dreaming, but they are totally aware of what is happening around them. Is hypnosis safe? This type of hypnosis, yes, it is. It doesn't subordinate the patient whatsoever. Are there any contradictions in applying hypnosis? Yes, there are some contradictions in standard hypnosis. First of all, deep hypnosis can make the patient very susceptible to suggestion. Second of all, there are mental conditions like schizophrenia, which is an obstacle in treating patients with hypnosis. Is it important during the treatment that the patient trusts you and trusts your skills? No, it's completely irrelevant. I am not my patient's spouse. Why would they believe me if they don't know me? I suggest something else, my own approach. If I don't have any experience in it, I'll try it. I'll go right to the end of the road and then make a conclusion according to my new experience that I didn't believe. I didn't know, but it helps, or I could conclude that it's just stupidity. In my opinion, information is key. You can't have your own opinion if you don't have information about a given topic. It's obvious, but you need to experience too. Just as Hoxha Nasreddin once said, you won't know the sweet taste of halva if you don't put it in your mouth. I know one thing for sure. My patients have lost a lot because of their addiction, but I don't offer them investment in pleasure. All I do is try to save their life. They don't have to believe me, but they should at least try. What do they have to lose? Hardly anything. Once the patient has decided to give up their addiction, what do they have to go through? What is the road to overcoming an addiction like? It consists of stages. The first stage is to overcome the addiction on a physical level. Since every person who tries to give up their addiction experiences cold turkey, In order to eradicate it, and God forbid to avoid delirium, which can also happen, detox is required, or the application of some medicines available in pharmacies. If a patient is sure they can handle it themselves, they should use the sauna, drink a lot of water, and use other cleaning methods. This is the first stage, physical cleansing. The second stage is overcoming the addiction on a psychical level, when there's no hangover, but the urge to have a drink remains. The patient can smell alcohol even if there isn't any around. They dream about it, can see it in their dreams. This stage is the most important, and at the same time very difficult. A lot of clinical methods eradicate addiction only on the first level. The rest remains untouched. Let's take other methods, for example, extreme detox, AA groups. But first things first, having extreme detox keeps the patient afraid. They don't drink, don't use, even though they would love to, because they are terrified. Such fear treatment is a very dangerous method, as it triggers other types of diseases, such as strokes, hemorrhaging, impotence, and it changes their psychical state. They become nervous, stressed, because they want to have a drink, but they don't do this. This can have a very bad effect on health. Owing to these reasons, people around the patient also suffer. The second method, therapy in Buddhist monasteries. Finding your own way and understanding the Buddhist religion is a great thing, but it doesn't eradicate drinking. I've seen people afraid of leaving the monasteries. It is also a very inefficient method. As for AA groups, this isn't therapy that cures the disease. It's only a support group. You don't have a chance to get rid of your urge to drink there. All you get is emotional support. What I offer is cooperation between the patient and myself, which leads straight to a desired state of indifference to alcohol. And this is what I call freedom. Insensibility is the basis of freedom. You don't eliminate alcohol in the world, but you change your approach to it. You become a free man. Let me paraphrase. The patient who decides to quit drinking in order to start your treatment has to go through the first stage, physical cleansing. Then, once they get rid of the cold turkey syndrome, they can start working with you. Am I right? What you are talking about is the second step. The first step is completely different. All my patients can be divided into two groups. The first group are the people who have problems. Nobody's perfect. Everyone can make mistakes. Nearly everybody can be deceived and lied to. Alcohol is one of the biggest liars in the world. It deceives us by giving us pleasure. You begin to love it in your own unique way. Then, alcohol kills you. An alcoholic is a victim of a deception. But if you are intelligent, you will analyze your situation. And if you are addicted, you will open your eyes and realize that alcohol is a swindler and a traitor. You will then fall out of love. Love is gone. The addiction remains. And this is the moment when an alcoholic invites me to join his team to defeat the addiction. People are generally intelligent, but there's a snag, the disease. I will gladly help them to overcome it in the best possible way. You can fight the disease. The second group of patients are the people incapable of assessing their situation due to a lack of intelligence. What can be done with this? There's no remedy for stupidity. Unfortunately, this group of people simply die because of alcohol. The thing is that there's not a single person in the world who would want to step into addiction and become an alcoholic. How many people has alcohol killed so far? This number is impossible to know. You think you control your drinking. This isn't true. Soon alcohol takes over. You can be saved, but it has to be permanent. You can't think that an alcoholic will be able to have a few drinks every now and then. It doesn't work this way, and the problem will most definitely return. Intelligent people will be able to quit. I personally know ex-addicts who for more than 20 years haven't drunk a single drop. They are happy. Everything has gone well for them. I have also known those who have been killed by alcohol. The first step is to say goodbye in your heart. Then you have to go through the stage of physical addiction. As I mentioned earlier, detox or special cleaning drugs. In the third stage, I come in. I cooperate with the patient. I don't subordinate them. I help them to reach their goal, which has to be set up by the patient, because I won't do this for them. I only do this with them. So we've got a patient who has gone through the first two stages. He comes to you and wants to quit once and for all. How many sessions does it take to see the first effects? At least 3. If this is not enough, it is possible to add another 3 sessions, but it doesn't last months. The patient isn't locked up in a rehab center. It is a very short type of therapy without any pharmaceutical aid. Is your therapy efficient? Very good question. You can divide my patients into 3 groups. The first group consists of people who want to give up drinking on a psychical and emotional level. Whoever belongs to this group will be 100% cured. For the second group, it is easy to give up drinking on a psychical level, but they refuse to quit emotionally. In this case, efficiency amounts to 50%. There's also the smallest group of addicts who knock at my door because they are forced to by their wives or a doctor, possibly because of a divorce, employer, parents, children. To keep it short, all this is a compulsion. Only a small percentage of such people manage to quit and stay clean. Now, we know what we need to overcome our addiction. What do you suggest? What form? Having worked with addicts for many years, I understand that it isn't possible for everybody to come and visit me. I work in Warsaw, and this addiction exists all over the world. Therefore, I've come up with 3 films. The first is about stopping the need to drink. We can't introduce an anti-alcohol program right away. In the second film, I, with the patient's consent of course, place an anti-alcohol program in the patient's mind. This isn't only a film, it's a type of interaction with a man who is far away from me. I provide help at the most suitable time for the patient, at his own home, completely anonymously. The patient doesn't waste time traveling, doesn't stay away from home for a long time, doesn't take time off work, and doesn't leave their family. For this simple reason, which is my strong need to help people, I've come up with such an idea, which can be used remotely. What's more, it's much cheaper than other therapies in any country. Let's take Norway, for example. The help that is given in this country is like this: 2 months in a rehab center. The cost of therapy, $10,000. You can only imagine, how is it possible for a businessman to be locked away for 2 months in a rehab center, even if it's not a business, but just an ordinary job? Who is going to give them such an opportunity? I really understand people's behavior. Everybody can be deceived, especially when you get a very pleasant feeling from it. There's very little love around us. We miss being close, miss love and mercy. That's why we begin to love alcohol, which is a liar and a swindler, a kind of sweet killer. Who doesn't make mistakes? We all make them. Therefore, people should be approached with understanding.
Mówił pan o skuteczności, że jest tam
You've mentioned the
skuteczna.
pretty high
Ale
efficiency
czy
of your
jest
method,
skuteczniejsza?
but do you
Uważa
consider
pan,
it
że
as the
jest
most
skuteczniejsza?
successful?
Uważam. Choćby z tego powodu, że ja
Yes, I do. I've been officially accepted for my work for science and have been awarded several national decorations, 4 times already. There isn't any other doctor like me in the world. It's not that I'm boasting, I just give facts, nothing else.
Czyli nic, tylko zachwalać tą metodę, oszczędność czasu.
So we can only praise your method, which includes saving time, money, and in addition, anonymity, which is tremendously important. And firstly, availability in any place and at any time. Thank you very much for your interview and your time. There's nothing else to say but encourage everybody who wants, I stress wants, to overcome their addiction to succeed with Dr. Polykowski.
Również dziękuję pani za pytanie, za wywiad.
Thank you for your good questions. I am willing to help anybody who needs it.